let's talk about how to systemize your business so it will run without you. Let me ask you a question. Why did you start your business in the first place? Yell the answer. As loud as you could. Why did you start your business in the first place? Freedom. Solve a problem that you want to solve. Very nice. So solve problem.
Satisfaction.
Say again?
Personal satisfaction.
Personal satisfaction. So you get more joy kind of working for yourself, okay? So satisfaction, okay? Control the direction of your life. So control, I'll put control, okay? You are unhireable? Who said that? How many of you are unhireable? I am totally, absolutely, 100% unemployable, that's for sure. That's for sure. I've only had, in my career, I've only had one job in my life that's working for a supermarket. And for 1 year, as a grocery bagger. That's the only job I've ever had in my life. And the most important thing I learned from that job is working with somebody else sucks.
The king of high-ticket sales. World's highest paid consultant, media celebrity, multi-millionaire entrepreneur, acclaimed TEDx speaker, international best-selling author, Dan Lok.
What else?
Personal growth.
Personal growth. Okay, I like that. So growth. I like that.
Helping others.
Helping others, yes. Oh, someone is honest. Who said more money? More money. More money. I'll give you like some dollar sign here. How's that? Okay. Give me a couple more. Give me a couple.
Pick your own client.
Pick your own clients, okay? Your own client, your own clients. So you work with the people you want to work with, right? Yes. Sleep in, okay? No commute or just you can, set your own alarm clock, so sleep in. Give me maybe one more.
Tax benefits.
Tax benefit, yes. Tax benefit. That's good, that's good. So we all started our business for various of reasons. Now, how many of you have heard of the book E-Myth? Okay. Now, if you have not read the book, please put that on your list, a book to read. The E-Myth was written by Michael Gerber. And it's one of those books that changed the way I operate. I would say one of the top 10 business books I've read, E-Myth. And the E-Myth talks about the entrepreneurial myth. The entrepreneurial myth. So Michael in the book basically talks about the myth that most people who start small businesses are actually entrepreneurs, but actually they're not entrepreneurs. The fatal assumption that an individual understands the technical work of a business can successfully run a business that does the technical work. So a plumber working for a plumbing company and believe that I can do a better job, I go out and start my own business. A programmer working for a company, well, I think I can do a better thing on my own, I go out and start my own thing. A landscaper working for a company, well, I think I can mow a better lawn than my boss, and he's kind of a jerk anyway, so I don't like the guy. I go out and do my own thing. So what Michael was talking about is most entrepreneurs, the E-Myth, are actually technicians with an entrepreneurial seizure. Most entrepreneurs fail because you're working in your business rather than working on your business. Meaning that, well, I know how to do plumbing. Let me start a plumbing business. Or I know how to do the technical work. Let me just do that business. How many of you started your business that way? Yeah. And that's the challenge is that in a business, you don't just have a technician and the business will be successful. A business actually needs 3 people in a business in order to be successful. You need an entrepreneur, the visionary, you need a manager to lead the team, and you need a technician to do the work. The challenge is most entrepreneurs, we start off wearing what? 3 hats. We are the entrepreneur, we are the manager, and we are the technician. We're trying to do all 3, and we juggle the 3 balls. And very often, it's very easy to get sucked into, well, you know what, I'll just do this work. And then, oh no, I gotta figure out how to grow my company too. Oh my God, I gotta hire this person. Oh, and that person is not performing well. No, but I kind of gotta do this too. I gotta work with the client. So it's what I described it as like a seesaw. That you do the work, and you're suddenly not getting enough clients. Well, let's try to get some clients. Find work, find work, find work, find work, find work, and then, okay, do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work. And their whole business, whole life is like that, year after year after year after year. And the book addresses that question. Now, the book is not going to give you the answer of how to solve that, which is the brilliance of the book. But it touches a very important concept of why most small businesses don't work. Because the very fact that you are a technician and you know how to do the technical work, that's actually what's preventing you from succeeding in your business. That's what's preventing you from succeeding in your business. So typically, again, the owner of a bakery is the baker. The owner of a graphic design agency is the graphic designer. The owner of a dental practice is a dentist. What typically happens is they try to solve their problems by working harder at what they do. Let me become a better graphic designer. Let me become a better landscaper. Let me become a better carpet cleaner. And then my business problems will be solved. The question is that the truth? And does it work? Does it work? To be a successful entrepreneur, you must recognize that the skills that made you a successful technician has little or nothing to do with the skills required to build and manage a business. I'll say it again. The skills that made you a successful technician has very little or almost nothing to do with the skills required to build and manage a business. And that's why statistics shows 95%, 97% of small business, whatever statistics that you look at, don't make it in 5 years. Because most entrepreneurs are actually technicians suffering from an entrepreneurial seizure. So what are the skills that you need to develop in order to have and build a successful business? Now, for those who have been with me for a while, you've seen this. So this will be, for those who have been with me, this will be a reminder. A what? Reminder. Hello? Reminder. For those who is new, this will be your roadmap. A what? A roadmap. So, what have you learned from my talk, and how does it apply to you, and how do you take direct action? Comment below and let me know. If you have any other questions, you can also comment below. And don't forget, click on the subscribe button, turn on notification, and hit the bell. So every single time I upload a new video, you will get notified. If you want to watch my other videos, make sure you can check them out on the left. You can check out all the other videos that I have. We have hundreds of videos on YouTube. You want to expand on a topic? Check it out.